Hi, Emily.
Hi,
Hi, cutie. I'm Emily as well. It is so nice to meet you.
nice to meet you too. Um,
How are you doing today?
Great, yeah. Um, got
Oh,
my curler here.
perfect. You got your curler. Okay. So the way that these videos work or the session works is we'll kind of go over like high level, any issues. I read that you have super long hair, and so you're looking for some help wrapping it. I'm here to help with that. Um, We'll also just kind of dive into like if you've used it before, any experiences, and then we'll do the actual wrapping together, and I'll just like point out things along the way. We'll mirror each other, super casual. Yeah, so
Great.
so good to meet you. Cool.
Yeah,
So I know you mentioned that you have super long hair, you need
yeah.
help wrapping that. Wow, Emily, that is awesome. Okay, challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. I think you might have the longest hair we've had to date. How long is your hair?
I've never measured it. It's pretty long. I might need to trim it soon.
It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Well, we'll give this a go. Have you tried using this before, and how did it
Yeah,
turn out, if at all? How was the experience like?
yeah. Each time it gets better. I've done it maybe about 3 times now. So the last time was pretty good. I think I'll just need some tips here and there about how to like maybe starting it and then your tip of kind of, pushing it up definitely helps. Um,
Okay,
I think, by the end, maybe I need some tips. I've not used mousse yet, and I think I want some tips on that to help it stay longer.
stay longer, no
Yeah,
problem. And when you did it in the past, did you use it on dry hair or lightly damp hair? What was your hair like? How'd you prep it?
both. The slightly damp was lasted a little bit longer. So
Okay, it lasted a little bit longer, and it was able to dry even though you have like a lot of hair. Was it fully
yes,
dry? It was?
I think
Okay, cool.
so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So with that knowledge, I would still recommend doing the lightly dampened hair. If you have a spray bottle, just like spraying the hair. If you don't, I always recommend, oh, sorry about that. That's my alarm to join this Zoom. But if you don't have it, I always recommend just like a washcloth, soaking it, wringing it out, and like wiping your hair. Granted, that sounds weird, and I think for you, it probably has to be bigger than a washcloth, like it'll take too long. But yeah, I find that that's the best way to kind of like evenly coat the hair without making it too wet. And if you have, I love mousse. I always recommend for if your hair is like naturally straight, a light hold mousse. So
Mhm.
nothing that's like too heavy, and just like the ones that you can find at your local drugstore over anything that's fancy. I've yet to come across one that's overpriced and better than like the, I don't know, Garnier Fructis version from the
Sure.
80s. So
Okay,
those
cool.
are the tips. And you can always just add it to the spray bottle and shake it up just like a little bit. And you always want to make sure it's just the lengths, not the top of the hair that you're getting wet.
Okay.
Cool. All right. With all that said, we can jump into wrapping. So, all right, let's see if this is gonna work, and I'll give you tips. And if not, I have another backup plan for you, Emily.
Okay,
And I'm
cool.
prepared for that. Cool. All right. So always recommend starting by folding it in half so that the ends are even.
Okay.
And you'll notice that there's a wire all along one side. So now when we put it on your head, you want the wire facing forward, not backwards. And I'll clear that out so you can kind of see my hairline. It should be about like an inch from your hairline where you normally would have a headband. Beautiful, Emily, nailed it. Wires forward, we got that crease. All right. Now, have you practiced this step where you do the
Yeah, I usually have to like do
cool? You
this
can do
first
that. That totally works.
and
And then
then
swoop in. It might be easier if you make a thumbs up and go in this way. It might be like so that your tips
oh,
of your fingers are brushing. So you're going in like this, which is like kind of more awkward. It might be easier if you just go like, yeah, there you go, honey. Yep, like that. And if it's not, you can just let me know. With it,
and grab it all.
and then you grab it all and you pull it towards your face. Other direction.
Then
You want
oh.
to, yep, you're good. So grab it all. Now pull it towards your face and then
And
over.
then up
Her.
and
There we
over.
go. Yeah, up
Okay.
and over. You got her. up and over. Beautiful. Okay. And then we just take the end and twist it around itself so that it feels like secure. And you're just wrapping the end of the headband around itself. So
I'm going the wrong way.
I know, Zoom makes it a little dyslexic too. If you have a mirror, feel free to look at the mirror and not me.
That might be a little better.
Yeah.
I am in my bathroom right in front of
There
my.
we go. I'll go back to where you are. So you have the hair over. Yeah, there you go. Oh, other way.
I think I
Boom.
may have been practicing it backwards.
And then you just wrapping, so you keep wrapping the end of the headband, just like kind of around. There you go. Yep. Beautiful. You nailed it, honey. It's just
Okay.
making a little pigtail. Doesn't matter how it looks. It's just meant to stay on your head. Cool. All right. So now we can start the other side. So we're going to take our front section. And our front section, the one key thing is that it shouldn't be more than like an inch or like this part of your thumb deep. Perfect. Beautiful. That's good. Otherwise, it'll feel like it's sliding backwards if it's a deeper section. Awesome. And we pull it up and over.
I'm getting it kind of.
Fabulous, Emily. All right. And now we're going to add another section right underneath the first and combine it. And again, it shouldn't be too deep. That's perfect, honey. Yep. And pull it up and over. And one thing, especially since you have long hair, is to try to make sure each wrap is touching the last, so you're not getting like a gap like that. So you don't see the headband in between. Perfect. Awesome. And that'll help with consistent curl shape too. Do it again, add another section and combiner. Pull it up. Awesome. I wish my hair could grow that long. That's amazing. Amazing genes you got there.
The funny thing is my parents really have like no hair or like really thin hair. I think it's a recessive gene.
That's too funny. Combine it all again. One more time, pull it up. Yep, perfect. I can't believe it. They must be so jealous.
They are.
All right, and so now we're at the ear. So once we get to the ear, we'll combine all hair that's left in, and then we're just gonna wrap it around. And this will help to make sure there's like no poo, it just looks more seamless. And it gets the curls started sooner in the back. Groovy, Emily, you're doing great. And yep, you're doing a great job making sure each wrap is touching the last. Perfect. Great. I'm so curious. I'm watching this. This is like a magic trick to me. I'm like, is this gonna work? We got this. All right.
Each time I do it, it gets just a little bit better, a little easier. I just kind of try to keep.
All right. So now you're getting towards the end. You're so close.
Yeah,
Perfect. I mean, yeah, it's gonna fit.
I think so.
You did such a good job wrapping, Emily. I don't even have to give you any other tips. I can't believe it. That's a phenomenal wrap job. You did a phenomenal job, Emily.
Awesome.
I was going to give you, and then you can add the scrunchie. While you add the scrunchie, I'll show you like two other tips in case it ever gets too long. So one of them is always just to like, I saw you do it earlier, but just while you're wrapping it, you can always like kind of push it up and it'll like smush it down and give you more headband. And then the other one is like, once you get towards the end, like let's say you have like, you know, this much hair left, you can always rewrap the last sections around itself instead of going down.
Okay.
And because usually hair is like more thin on the end anyway, it just makes those curls a little thicker. So those were the extra two tips I was going to give you, but you did a great job. You didn't wrap below the stitch line. Phenomenal, Emily. Great work.
Good.
It looks really good. I'm impressed. I am super impressed. It looks good, cutie. All right. And now we can repeat on the other side. Cool. So undo our little pigtail, our Cindy Lou Who pigtail, the Grinch. Cool. And yeah, straighten that headband out so we get that kink out. Cool. And now we can begin again. So we'll take our front section, small, making sure it's not too deep. Perfect. Awesome. And pull it up and over. Take another section right underneath and combine her. Awesome. Great, Emily. I feel like I'm going super slow because I'm gonna run out of hair way before you. Where are you calling in from, honey?
Indianapolis.
Oh my goodness. Is it cold there right now?
Oh my goodness. Today was a warm day of like 25. It's been in the negatives though.
Oh my goodness. I thought that was the case. I've heard on the news. Stay warm. It sounds pretty brutal. Are pipes bursting? I've heard there's some stuff like that happening.
Luckily not at my home or at my work. So
That's good.
everything's kind of, built for that, which is great. But I have a sister in Houston, Texas, and her pipes are not doing well because she said they hit 20 degrees.
Oh no, not
So,
again.
yeah,
Shoot. That's terrible.
it's pretty, it's hard.
That's hard. Yeah. And they're not made for that kind of weather
Right.
at all. Oh gosh. Yeah, my brother was in Houston. He just moved back to New York this year, which is where we're from originally. And he was there. He's a doctor, and he was there when all the situations were happening. I think it was last year when it was getting freezing. It was just awful, the emergency room. Emily, you're doing such a good job. And you're multitasking with talking. I'm really impressed.
I just love how this is heatless. I really don't use heating, straighteners or curling anything on my hair because I just know it's damaging. And so when I saw this, I usually just braid my hair, honestly. And so when I saw these, I thought, oh, this will be fun.
And I'm so impressed it works on your length. I got nervous. I got nervous for a second. I did. I think yours is definitely the longest hair I've seen. I've seen it like close to your length, definitely like super long, like it's hitting your tushy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just, I'm so happy. It's amazing. Cool. Yeah, I can only imagine using a curling iron would take you way, it's just not even possible.
No, it's really not. I had a friend try to do it for me, but it just didn't work out very well at all. So we're like, I'll just stick with braiding.
I can imagine that being the case, honey. I could totally. Cool. You are awesome.
Now, is 3 okay? Like
3 is okay. Yep. I recommend 3. You don't want it to be like suffocating the ends of your hair. Otherwise it'll just be too tight. So about 3 is good. And so, yeah, now is when you can twist to tighten it. If you want them to be tighter, you just twist one way. If you want them looser, you can twist it the other way and it'll kind of just set looser curls. And if you find like, I'm just trying to think, because if you wanted to, you can also just like lightly dampen your hair afterwards if you feel like it's dried a bit, because it can take you have a lot of hair. So I'm just wondering your dry time, but you can always just do like a couple sprays, 1 and 2, if you want, just kind of hitting the outside as well.
Yeah,
You got a perfect spray bottle. Awesome. And just, yeah, like 1 or 2 sprays is extra. And just making sure it dries.
okay. Have you ever used a hair dryer at any point with these, or?
I have used it before, and for my hair type, it does work. It'll dry it, which is good. I forgot Zoom did the updates.
That's fun.
I know they do like little things at this one. There we go. But the only thing is that it can cause your curls to kind of go flat faster.
Okay.
There's a video about that I put together about the science of heatless curls, and I won't dive into it all, but it's all applicable for the same reason as to why your curls will kind of fall flat faster, especially if they're not normally going to hold a curl. So yeah, you can totally do it if you need it, but recommend if you want longer lasting to skip it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the headband look, I'll just walk you through it. You just cross it in the back.
Yep.
And when it's on top, tuck it under. When it's under, tuck it over, or any which way you like, whatever feels most comfortable. They're wiry, so you can bend them around.
Cool.
Yeah, and you can sleep with it any which way. Cutie. You did so good. You look adorable, Emily. I'm so impressed.
Yeah. Thank you for walking through this with me. This is fun.
Thank you. Thank you for doing the legwork. You made my job extra easy today. I appreciate that. And it was like, honestly, so nice to meet you. Really.
And one quick question. What's the minimum, maybe like how many hours minimum would you say to keep it in?
I would say if it's only super lightly damp, you can keep it in for like maybe an hour to 2 hours minimum. Or if it's dry, an hour to 2 hours, and you'll have curl. And then one thing I'll show you. So when you take it out,
Yeah.
that would be the minimum. You just want to make sure it's 100% dry when you do take it out.
Okay.
Now, one thing is when you take it out, you might notice that it's kind of like all like large sausagey curls.
Yeah.
And so what you can do in that scenario is just kind of break apart a couple sections from your hair and just twist it. You're just twisting in the same direction as you had curled it, and it'll kind of pop into these individual curls that you can then always shake out. But it's a way to kind of break up that like large sausage curl and create a bunch of them.
Okay.
Always shake out if you want it looser. But yeah, that's kind of a good way to like redefine the shape so it's a little bit more, I don't know, curled.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Emily. This was super helpful.
My pleasure, Emily. So nice to meet you once again. Stay warm.
Okay, you too.
Bye, honey.
Bye.